Hello and thank you for downloading Gamify 24/7 brackets episode 27, and I am very confused by the numbers because there's lots of 2s and lots of 7s, but it does mean we're 27 episodes into this fantastic podcast that you can download by various means. I know I'd say it's fantastic because I'm on it, but it's true. Hello!
You know what's weird is I think you guys mentioned it last week was that's almost a year that we've been doing the podcast. That's mental.
Oh my god, I know.
That's crazy.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Which
and Sean, you're back.
I'm back.
Weird, because if we'd done it every week for a year, we'd have 52 episodes.
I know. But
come on, guys, we need to pick it up.
Now, didn't we?
We did, however.
We need to catch up. We'll have to do a podcast every day. But
just to catch up.
Just to catch up to 52.
Double down.
Double down, yes.
Rapid fire Gamify every day.
I mean, that probably would be more than I spend playing games, so I'm not sure that they would be very productive.
Yeah, we'd just come in and be
podcast.
like, nothing's happened.
Hi gamers, bye.
It's been 22 hours since we last spoke, and there's literally been no news. But there is news.
It is called Gamify 24/7.
I know, that's what I was digging there. Like, we're digging our own grave here.
We need to change it to like Gamify 2752. All right then. So there has been lots of gaming news this week, which is good. We'll come to that in a moment. Before that, Sean, since you've been away for a few weeks, well, you've been there, but you've not been on your microphone because you broke it in anger. What have you been playing, game wise?
Nothing much actually. Whilst I was up north, I played a little level of Splatoon 2, and a couple of days ago, well, yesterday I think it was, I downloaded the Monster Hunter Double Cross demo from Japan. So I had a quick shot of that. It's all in Japanese, so it's difficult to work out what's happening, but it looked quite cool, and that was the main thing, wasn't it? And also downloaded Namco Museum, the free version, so you can play the online part, which I was offline at the time, so I couldn't play it. But you've got access. It's kind of like Sega Forever, but you've got access to all the old games, Splatterhouse and stuff like that. So I might check that out and have a shot of the Pac-Man online. And then if it's good, I might buy the actual Namco Museum. Who knows?
Wow. Sean goes retro.
I go full retro, man.
All right. Anton, what have you been up to gaming-wise in the last week?
Oh God. I have no focus. I have just been jumping between every game. I think I've played like 10 games this week, so it's like I've done Watch Dogs, Splinter Cell, Undertale, Transistor, Mighty Number 9, Insurgents, and Grand Theft Auto, and I've just been jumping between everything.
I'm just sad that you're not doing your Euro Truck thing anymore. I really liked hearing about that and all your fun that you're getting into across Europe.
Yeah, I need to get back into that because I haven't even bought a truck yet.
See when you play it, you sing songs like "Driving Along in My Automobile."
Yeah, is it in real time? Does it take you that as long as it would normally take you to drive around Europe?
It's not in real time, but it is quite long. Like just driving from let's say from Glasgow to Aberdeen, it's still a 30-minute, 40-minute journey. So it isn't like a quick game. It isn't like boom.
That's roughly how long it takes me to get there. So that's about right.
Can you drive up and visit Michael?
People who aren't from here won't know that that's a joke, Michael.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should clarify that it should take 2.5 hours. It does not take half an hour. I'd have to be driving very, very fast, and my car doesn't go that fast. By the way, we have a seaside theme for this show, which I quite like, with the seagulls. The sort of seaside theme. It makes us feel a bit like we're in.
We've gone on holiday.
Bringing some summer in here. Yeah.
You know, the summer special of Gamify. We're on the beach. I'm sorry you don't have video.
We're all naked right now on the beach.
Yeah, you don't.
We've gone to a nudist beach. My God.
Gaming at a nudist beach. That would be interesting.
That's an exclusive for the Patreon. We're all naked.
Just also very, very dangerous when it comes to electrics and naked people. But also, it's ironic that I'm speaking to you whilst in my studio in Aberdeen and you're the one with the seagull sounds. Trust me, that's ironic. Because we have not seagulls here, but giant...
pterodactyls.
I don't know what you'd call them. essentially pterodactyl gulls, but because they're ridiculous. And anyway, so moving on then. So you've been playing everything, Anton.
Yep.
Basically anything you can.
Anton has become the console.
Yeah. The game master.
I have been playing Overwatch because the summer games have now started. So that was really annoying. I can't remember what day it was that I tried to do it, but it was purely a coincidence. I'd heard, summer games are happening soon, but I was just like, oh well, whatever. So I just tried to play the other night. Coincidentally, it happened to be really close to when they did all their social media posts saying the summer games have started now, right now. So everyone was trying to play. So I was in a queue of over 100,000 people in front of me waiting to play, and I was like, I don't even want to play the summer games. I just want to play the regular Overwatch. Yeah. But I couldn't get in because the server just wouldn't let me in. And then when I got down to 40,000 people, I was like, oh, I'm getting there.
Bloody
and then
gamers.
It would like count me down. It did it like 5 times where it was like 10 people in front of you and then 0 people in front. And I was like, oh, I get to play. And then it was like, no, you can't play actually, the server's not working. And I was like, oh, what? And I'd be chucked back up the queue again and get down. And I was like, everyone must just be in this cycle of not getting to play. But it was very annoying and suspicious because lots of Twitch streamers were streaming it. And I was like, oh, they clearly let all the streamers on.
That's a bit worrying.
We're all sitting here like, I want to play the game now. So eventually I did get to play one match of Lucio Ball. And I started trying to play, what's it called? It's like Total Madness or something like that. Everyone's like hit points and everything are like doubled, and the cooldown time's also been shortened, like halved. So everyone's super powerful and super high HP. So it's quite total madness. It's pretty mad. It's good though. I really like it. But yeah, I got into that and then got chucked from the game again.
You know what? I'd be interested if anyone listening to the podcast had the same issue, and if they noticed that
so many people. I was on Down Detector, constantly clicking the button like the server won't let me on, and everyone was just raging in the comments, and everyone was raging on Twitter, and yeah. So it was a very frustrating time. I have been able to play since then. But I've been experiencing quite a lot of lag, and I don't know whether that's just because there's too many people again trying to play, or if it's my internet connection, because I do have somebody else in my flat staying for this month.
Was that all caused simply because of the amount of people?
Yeah.
Or do you think on summer games?
Like,
summer games.
The server issue definitely was. I don't know about the lag, but it's definitely, it's been a troublesome time. And also, I think a lot of people have been annoyed because there are obviously with every event there's new skins and stuff like that you can get, and so there are a different theme of loot boxes. I've had about 7 loot boxes and have gotten 0 summer skins. Oh, no. 0! And I can't believe it.
Is this the kind of thing where you see in Call of Duty or CSGO where they'll get a loot box and open up and they get a rare gun that's worth like $2,000? People sell it.
I don't think so, because the skin, it's just like skins and stuff that people want to collect. Like you can buy loot boxes and stuff as well. Right. It's totally random what you get inside them. But it seems like you're a lot less like Halloween. I managed to get a few of those ones, a few of the skins, which were really good. But I've had 0 of these summer games ones yet out of all the loot boxes I've had. I think quite a lot of people are quite annoyed that it seems quite difficult to get some of the skins. So a lot of controversy there. Otherwise, a bit of Persona, and I just bought today, which will be finished downloading when I get home, Virginia, because it was only £3, something in the sale. So I'm looking forward to that. I played the demo when it first came out, and have you guys seen it before, Virginia?
No.
It's basically, it reminds me a bit of like Twin Peaks and like the X-Files and stuff, but nobody talks at all. Nobody talks in the whole game.
Has anyone noticed whenever you ask me if I've heard of a game that I've not actually heard of, I just say, yeah, I've heard of it.
I think I do that sometimes because it rings a bell in my head, but it could just be because it's a word that I know. And Virginia, that's the place I've heard of. But yeah,
I know like one game, Shenmue, and that's it.
I like, there's a demo on PlayStation Store, so you can play the demo of it, which I already did.
I've played the demo of Virginia.
Yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, because nobody talks. That's what makes it really strange. It's because I've never played a game where you don't get any written instructions. Nobody's telling you what to do. So you're just kind of fitting into this role that the game's given you. It's like, I think you're like a detective or something, and you kind of just...
The art style's cool as well.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That sounds like, what's the one that's on PlayStation The one
Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia. I think that's what
Virginia, yeah. No, the one where you're going through the desert and you're the little guy.
Journey.
Sounds like Journey or something.
The one where I said it was like you were just a tent or something and walking in the desert. Yeah, maybe I'll have more success.
I'm sure I saw him up north. I was camping.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll have news about that next week then, because I'm going to play that
I'd be
tonight.
interested to hear, because I think I'd be tempted.
Well,
with Virginia.
I think
nearly bought
it's
it
in the summer
previously.
sale for £3.70, I think, and the sale ends I think on the 16th. So
okay,
we might.
So be quick.
Yeah,
be quick.
I might have to just tell
What's it
you
you
in
can play,
advance.
Michael?
Right, so I had a little bit of a quiet week, but I've played a fair bit of Mario Kart. I unlocked I 3-starred all the 200cc's a few weeks back, and but I haven't done all the mirrors yet. Just haven't had any time. So I did about half of those. Played online a lot more because I play quite a lot online. I play with my other half, so that's always good fun. But I've been doing quite a lot of switching. Like, I downloaded Retro City Rampage, which I've played before. It's brilliant. It's just so many references to 80s, and there's Back to the Future references in there, and there's Terminator references. It's just really, really cleverly done. And there's a sequel coming called Shakedown Hawaii, which is a similar concept, but it's 16-bit. So this one's 8-bit, and they're going to move to the 16-bit era. It's very, very funny. It's very fast. It reminds me very much of the original GTA top-down days on the PC and the PlayStation 1 back in the late 90s. So if you like that kind of style, or Chinatown Wars, if you like that kind of thing, it's like a basic version of that, but it's very story-driven and very quick. And you go from one mission to the next in seconds, and it's frantic and it's cool. It's really good, and running people over is a fun thing on it as well. So played a bit of that. Also, my Cave Story arrived as well, so I played a bit of Cave Story, which really enjoying so far. It's tough. It's a tough game. I heard that, but it's really tough. And also, I downloaded Kamiko as well, which is the $4.99 game, which is it's about an hour long, they reckon, but you can replay it. There's a lot of replay value in it, and it's a bit like a quick Zelda, basically. It's like a 2D quick Zelda is the idea behind it, so I'm looking forward to that.
I saw it and I was tempted about it earlier because it was so cheap, but I heard it was good.
It is good, and the reviews are really good as well. I'm also excited because Siberia has been announced on the Switch, which I think is perfect. I think point and click as well is a great way for the Switch to go, and really excited about Thimbleweed Park, which I mentioned last week. That's now been confirmed for September, so I'm really looking forward to getting a copy of that. I've also I've pre-ordered not Mario and Rabbids, which we'll talk about, but I've pre-ordered Super Mario Odyssey, and I'll be getting Sonic Mania for sure.
Did you pre-order Odyssey and get the hat?
No, I missed. I didn't get the hat. In all honesty, I'm trying to move house, and the less stuff I have, probably the better right now. But
but you can move the hat while you're moving.
Yeah, just wear it.
Well, that's true. That's true. I could have moved a lot
quicker.
quicker.
Moving stuff, just say, yes, the house here, and he'll just be looking at you all your time.
Well, I could have done the moving and the plumbing at the same time if I'd got the hat, but no, I didn't think that far ahead. Never mind.
Very good.
So looking forward to those on the Switch, and interesting about Sonic Mania then, because the PC release has been delayed until I think it's August 29th. But everything else is going ahead on the 15th, all the console editions, and there was a leak, Anton, as well.
Yeah, so essentially I think Amazon has went ahead and shipped out the collector's edition for free. Not for free.
I was like,
oh man, missed out on that.
Well, it seems to be, if you're on Xbox or PS4, then you're out of luck, you can't redeem your code or that, but Switch owners have been playing the game, uploading entire footage, and unfortunately spoiling the ending for certain Sonic fans in this podcast who are not very happy about said news.
Really?
Oh, why did you look?
I find it funny, I didn't even look. They managed to spoil the entire ending within of the title. I'm like, okay.
Oh, come on, really?
Wins.
Oh.
No, they don't.
Don't tell anymore. Don't say anymore. We can't spoil it.
But yeah, so sad days.
You should sue Anton. You should
sue them. The collector's edition is the one where it came with the Mega Drive and the statue.
Essentially a Mega Drive. It's got batteries in it, so like you turn on the Mega Drive and it does that, and
looks cool. Looks a bit big.
Yeah, I like the. Yeah, that was the only thing that put me off with the collector's edition. I would have definitely gone for one if I had space. But there were rumours that they were going to, which I thought would have been a bit of a kick in the teeth for people who had bought the collector's edition. But there were rumours last week that there was a console, an actual hardware edition of software, but the actual cartridge edition of Sonic Mania coming. But I don't think it was legitimate. It looks like it was kind of cobbled together by someone, kind of scaring people, because I think if you've invested in the collector's edition knowing that Sonic Mania was going to be a download only game, then
I think it comes in the collector one. I watched one where it comes with a cartridge, and in the cartridge it's got the coin. Yeah.
That's right. It's still a download in the collector's edition, but I think if you've bought the collector's edition on the premise that you know it's a download game, I would be a little bit annoyed if you then found out once that's released, oh, by the way, they're going to release it as a cartridge. Because I think a lot of people would go with the cartridge edition, but because it's Sonic, they want a little bit of something to show they've got the game and something to collect. So a lot of people won't be bothered because they'll probably just get both anyway, but I think I'd be a bit kind of like, well, actually, I'd have rather had that in the collector's edition and done it that way. But I don't think it's happening anyway from what I see. I think it's just going to be download only.
So when you're saying a cartridge edition, do you mean for the Switch?
That was the rumor.
So an actual little small cartridge, right? Okay.
Yeah, like any other Switch game. Yeah. Right. So they weren't supposed to be doing that, and I don't think they are. I think it was just a rumor that someone's mocked up a case, basically. But it did start the rumors. Started them off and got people talking about it. So.
Cool.
Anyway, I'm sure. Whatever happens, I'm looking forward to playing it. Anton, are you? I've seen the trailer. The trailer was brilliant, by the way. I loved the animation. So retro. It was great, beautiful.
They completely nailed the art style for this. It's like just got that perfect 90s aesthetic of like animation, but it's all crisp and clean. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Sonic is a game I grew up on, so I'm looking forward to playing a game that is a proper spiritual successor to it, and it looks great. The footage that I have seen a little bit of footage from the game, and it looks really, really good. I've seen a couple of additions that they've put in which look like they could be good additions, because I don't know about you, Anton, but when they start adding stuff to Sonic games that aren't in the original, often they get it wildly wrong and it's something that's just annoying and doesn't help. But the stuff that I've seen, without going into detail because it's not out yet, I think it's going to work.
What's wrong with Werewolf Sonic? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Tested by kids.
I think, that's the thing. If you get a 5-year-old to tell you this is awesome, then it's probably awesome to 5-year-olds and no one else. So, all right. So that's the Switch. We have got news on a few different things today, including some Microsoft news coming up a little bit later on. We've got news about a documentary that might be happening. We've got PlayStation 5 news as well. And just before we move on to those, more on the Switch then, orders for custom Switches in Japan. I'm totally down for this.
Yeah, I think Nintendo is taking orders in Japan for customizable Switch units. So I think you can change the colour of the Joy-Cons, so you can get different colours. There's green, the yellow and stuff, neon green, neon yellow, and other ones I assume. And I think, as far as I'm aware, it's going to be in October the 27th. You get them or thereabouts, but you can basically buy it now and you can order it. Once you've placed your order, you can't cancel your order or change it, and then they'll get shipped out in October. And if you don't order it within the next week or something like that, then they'll get shipped out after that. So obviously in Japan, they've had lines up like for thousands of people. There was something last week, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago, where there was 10,000 people or 6,000 people lined up to get a Switch, and they only had something like 600 available. So they're all queuing up, and because Japan does that lottery, then they're all queuing up there, and you basically get given a ticket, and only that 600 or 500 will get a Switch. So 5,500 people potentially went home with nothing, pissed off. But yeah, it's like you can basically order the Switch. So I think there'll be loads of people will be jumping on board that, especially coming up towards Christmas and Mario Odyssey and stuff. So they're going to be all over that. It's going to be totally sold out.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's mental that Nintendo continually do this, where they don't have enough things for people. I mean, you'd think by now, but then again, it creates demand as well. I noticed as well, someone created a patch and a kind of fix. If you've got different coloured Joy-Cons, there's a way that you can kind of hack the system to make your Switch recognise the different colours and change the colours on your Switch, so that when it appears on the Switch, rather than just the grayscale, it'll have the colours that you've chosen. So a very clever man has decided to spend a lot of time creating this and managed to kind of do the fix. So you can do that. If there's YouTube videos on how to do it if you really want to, but I can't say I'm bothered.
I think it, like, when you put a coloured Joy-Con in just now, does it automatically recognise that colour?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah. So it's just if you've done a customisable colour, isn't it? So if you've like painted your Joy-Cons white or something, Joy-Con white, sorry. If you painted them white, then you can go in there and customise it and make it show up as white. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool.
Very, very clever.
Oh, sorry. What this kind of reminds me of, do you remember when Microsoft, like a couple of E3s ago, announced how they're doing the custom colours of the Xbox?
Yeah, was that like the Xbox One S?
Yeah, you get your name, you get a tagline on it and stuff.
Would you
change the colours of the controllers and that?
Would you guys pay, let's say, £10 extra and get custom colours? So I believe that's the markup on the Xbox. It's like £10 more to get the custom colours done.
Probably, actually, yeah.
Well, I think I would.
Well, there's people online just now.
I would.
Are making ones that are like, I think it depends. If it was just a straight colour, yeah, I'd probably be alright with it. But it'd be even better if they'd done ones like, there's people doing GameCube versions where they're painting them with GameCube.
That looks great.
Aye, but they're charging like £180 for them. It's like, what the hell? It's crazy. So if Nintendo came up with that customisable thing and said, you can customise it, any part of that, like the Xbox One, you can change or put a tagline on it or something, that'd be so cool. Put a message on it, thanks to all gamers, like it was in the controller. You know, I'd pay a tenner for that, yeah.
I also think they could probably charge more than a tenner if they were going to make it that customisable.
No, a tenner, Michael, a tenner.
Well,
Nintendo's listening, they're listening.
That would be great, but you know, realistically, but it's Nintendo, it's the Switch. It's probably, if that happens, it'll be like, yeah, that's fine. You can change anything you like for an extra £100. So you know, we've got to be realistic with Nintendo. But yeah, I'm really excited about the amount of Switch announcements there has been over the last few weeks of games that are coming to the Switch. There's a lot of stuff that's out already. There's a lot of mobile games that, you know, a lot of people won't be interested in, but for me, I'm probably one of the people that is now discovering games that I've heard of, always wanted to play, because the Switch is just it's such a perfect way to play a lot of these games, and I think that's what's really working, and I think that's why a lot of people are jumping on board, and it's a great way at the moment to discover new games. The prices are a little high, I will say, but I'm really excited about where it's going to go in the next few months. Yeah,
I think the Nintendo tax is strong with a lot of games right now. But yeah, I'm totally with you. I said, like, you guys know what I've said for months now, for the last year. I think the potential for the Switch is massive, and you know, I think it's just a really good, like, complementary console towards your PlayStation 4, probably more than anything. But even with the Xbox as well, or a PC, I think it's just that nice bridging console where you've got a lot of Nintendo exclusives. And now there's a lot more third-party stuff seems to be coming on board now. And I said this a few months ago, I could sort of see Nintendo's plan, at least a lot of things their plan, was to cover it themselves with all their big releases this year to get third parties on board for next year. But it looks like we're starting to get a lot of announcements, as you said. We're getting them now. We're starting to get announcements now with a lot of games coming over. And yeah, it's like, I went onto the eShop yesterday to download the Monster Hunter Double Cross. And when I was in there, I just took a look, and there's tons of games in there now. You're like, wow, there's so many games. And you know, there's people who were obviously worried at launch time there was hardly anything on it. But now there's so many like third-party games, Neo Geo games. You know, there's the Namco Museum that I mentioned. There's so much stuff in there now that you've literally got pretty much anything you want, unless you want the big AAA releases on the Xbox or PlayStation 4. But if you've got one of those consoles, it's such a good console to have. If you've not got one of those consoles, I'd still say right now, you're probably better about PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, it really is the best console right now, especially with the VR option there as well. But yeah, the Switch is it's such a nice console. What's it, like 5.7 million it's sold or something now? I think the last...
Yeah, it's massive.
Aye, so like that's 5.7 million in the space of 3 or 4 months. By the end of the year, we're probably going to be close to 10 million. When Odyssey comes out, I'll be surprised if it's not hit 10 million at that point. Considering in Japan, it sold something like 3 million or something over its lifetime in Japan, and it's already over 1.2 or 1.3 million in Japan after only 3 months. You know, it's a pretty good sign that it's not really going to fail now. I think it can only succeed.
There is a way that it might fail if Gamify managed to make them have to stop selling.
That's a good segue, I like that one.
You like that? Like that, yeah. So basically what's happened is that another company have come in and said, you stole our Joy-Con idea, that's not yours, cease selling Nintendo Switches immediately, please, Nintendo. It's not about the money, it's the principle of the thing, honestly. Despite the fact that the Gamify pad reminds me much more of the Wii U gamepad, and is it even detachable?
No, it's an Android device, a 7-inch Android device that basically like I actually thought it looked like a Sega Game Gear.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like a Game Gear, and you could play like mobile games and everything on it. And I think you could play games from like PlayStation 4, like the PlayStation download part. You could play that kind of stuff on it, but. Sorry, not the PlayStation 4. It's a PlayStation Now, the one where you can play on the TV.
Indeed.
Yeah, you can play stuff like that and Steam games and everything. But you know, it died a death. It done nothing, and it's like I'm honestly totally baffled where they're claiming on this one, because, like I said, are they claiming it on an aesthetic level? Because it doesn't even detach. So it was all based on looks. What is it they're claiming on? Because there's millions of consoles like Game Gear, even just normal controllers, that have got the same layout of buttons and stuff like that. So what is it they're exactly claiming on? A tablet with controllers? What? That's crazy.
I think what they're doing is conceptually that they have the same idea, and I think that's their basis on wanting to sue Nintendo for copying them with the idea of the Joy-Con. But in my opinion, I feel like the execution is so separate and disconnected that they don't really have much of a leg to stand on. Like if you go into the Apple Store, they have things where you can connect onto the iPhone that are more closely resembling the Joy-Cons than anything.
Yeah.
So
I think it's obviously one of these patent troll ones where they're just trying their luck. And to be honest, I'll be surprised if Nintendo lost that one. Got anything even remotely close to it, getting lost. And the company's going to end up losing money in it. So it seems like a really weird challenge. You know, it's like, I suppose it came out in 2013, I think that was. So when they were developing, maybe 2012, 2011. So maybe they can argue that point that, you know, they were working on a tablet type device. But it's, that's, as you said.
This is free advertising for their thing as well.
But I think that Gamify is not sold now. I think that was only done in 2013. I think it died a death. So
you can't get them anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
right,
you know what? Remember, it's all about the principle of the thing. It's nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to some Microsoft news then. This is interesting. I'm quite interested to see what they do about this. Microsoft are looking to rework their achievements. Now, their achievements are one of the things that I really like about the Xbox and the Xbox One and all the rest of it, is simply because I think that they probably do the achievements the best, in my opinion. However, there is a flaw if you're a gamer that only plays a couple of games. Kat, what do you think about this?
Well, I used to super be into achievements when I had a 360 and I played that. So I was one of those people that really, I would try and get them all.
You opened the door!
Yeah, I would really try. I would replay stuff to get them, and then when I got my PS4, trophies became my life. So I'm a big trophy collector, and the platinum thing really, actually, I feel is better than what the Xbox had. Because platinums, you get a platinum trophy if you get all the other trophies in a game. So if you've got platinums, you're like, I have 7 platinums, that's pretty decent. Because it is pretty decent. It's quite hard to get them. It's hard to get them.
I've got 2.
But what's the point of it though? What's the
point is that so that people can see that you're dedicated and spend a lot of time doing things far too many times.
Essentially.
Pretty much. You don't actually get anything. I don't actually have any trophies physically.
I think it appeals to people who collect stuff as well. It's the same as in a game and 100%ing it. It's like that thing where You know, I'm playing Ratchet and Clank, right? And you guys can maybe help me out. I love Ratchet and Clank, and I'm well through the game. And there's a section where I have to collect 60, let's say, gold stars. It's not. I can't remember what they are. It's been a while since I played it. I'm on 59 out of the 60, and I spent 4 hours looking for the last one. I still can't find it, even with a guide, and I had to give up.
This could be like an error in the game, because this happened to me with Tearaway, because I've platinumed Tearaway on the Vita the first time, and there was one confetti that I needed to get, and one of the little scraps, they're the little enemies that you fight in it. There was one of them, and he'd fallen down a little pipe, and I couldn't get him. So I had to redo that whole bit. I had to start a new game to get to that level to do all that again.
That is the worst thing ever.
Without triggering him to fall down that pipe that I couldn't get him in. So it was I googled that because I was just like, no, this is impossible. There's one here and I can't get it, and I googled it, and there was actually a bug with that level. I was very annoyed. I did it, and I've got my platinum. So I'm sorry, but
well
it might be a bug. You might need to look into that a bit further.
Oh, that would be.
You should Google see if people have had problems with that level, because you'll find a forum somewhere. You'll find a thread of somebody who had a similar problem, and everyone will all be raging about it together. And
you didn't want to be sitting playing it for the next 10 hours and then realise that you could never get past it.
Yeah, it could be there's actually an issue.
That's true. It was one of those ones where I played the game. I got into a kind of couple of days where I was just like, I'm just going to get through this, and I was having a lot of fun with it. And I got to this level and thought, I'm doing pretty well here. I'm going to collect all these, because sometimes I can be a bit remiss with collecting stuff. And I was really chuffed with myself. 59, this is great, and honestly it's the most frustrating thing in the world. But it was late at night, I wasn't sensible enough just to take a break. I got myself annoyed, I stayed awake all night, night sweats, terrors, the lot, you know. Where's the last one? Anyway, so I think this could.
It sounds. The whole thing sounds good, is what I meant to say though. This achievements thing actually does sound much better, because it will reward you for dedication to a game rather than switching it up and playing. Because with achievements and trophies, both of them, you could play. So anyone who buys the most games is going to have the most trophies. That's kind of
how it works. Yeah.
So that's kind of achievements.
Do you remember, sorry, before we move on, do you remember the Xbox 360, since you were like me and loved the achievements? Do you remember the game where you could get the achievement in 30 seconds for you could actually get 100% of the achievements in 30 seconds of the game starting?
No, but I'm interested to find out what this game is, because it sounds really like something I'd enjoy.
It was something recently, wasn't it?
No, it was ages ago. I'm trying to think what it was now. I'm going to find the name for you for next week, but I bought it.
Just for that?
Just to get the achievement. I was I'm going to get that.
I'm pretty sure there's a PlayStation 4 one that does the same now. There's a PlayStation 4 or a VR one.
Oh, there is, but they had to stop selling it on the store or something.
Really?
Because people were just it was becoming a kind of a cheat way. But anyway, this old game that I had in the 360, you buy it, you have to do, I think, 30 seconds of running at something, and then once you kill all the things in your path, 30 seconds later you have all achievements unlocked. I then sold the game again on eBay for a profit, because people were so desperate to get this game that it was actually really hard to get. So I actually didn't lose out on anything by buying it, but it's pathetic that I went to all that effort.
I fully understand that, because I probably would have done the same, to be quite honest, which is why I've got those two Telltale games I got with PS Plus, the Game of Thrones one and the Borderlands one. I was playing the Borderlands one again today, because that will give me platinums. Just playing the game will give me platinums. I don't have to do anything. I just play the game. I've already done it on the Xbox, but I just was so I'm getting no value out of this game again. I have to sit through all that long chat, because you can't skip the text in Telltale games. But I'm just doing it purely because I'm if I sit here for long enough and just press a few buttons, have my platinum.
Just out of curiosity, this new Xbox achievement one, right? I actually read an article about this. There was a big thing about it in some online website. And it was saying that with the achievements, someone was complaining about achievements, saying that they weren't into achievements. And I could see the points for and the sort of arguments for and against. One of the people was saying that, like Kat just mentioned there, is sometimes what ends up happening is you're not really playing a game because you enjoy the game. You're playing it to get the achievement, so it becomes like a chore. So from what I gathered there, what you were saying was the new achievement system, how does that work? It's more just how long you play it for.
I'm not too sure. It's just something they conceptually, like they're mentioning. They're like, yeah, we're working on this, we're redoing it. They haven't specified how they're planning to do set.
Yeah,
new
I'm just worried
system.
that something like this, like that they do something where, you know, if they say it's to reward you for playing the game more and how much time you put into it, then anyone that just wants to come in for a quick shot of something will feel like they're getting screwed over because they'll be like, well, I didn't have time to sit and spend 10 hours for a game.
I would think that they're probably, surely they're going to do it a way that doesn't get rid of the current system where you have certain things that you have to do in order to get achievements, because I think those are the best achievements, when you have to do something that isn't necessarily part of the game but it's a lot of fun. Like in GTA, there's some crazy achievements to unlock, and they can sometimes be a lot of fun, so I don't think they're going to get rid of those. I would suspect what they'll do is have another way of adding to your achievements, maybe not platinum or whatever. For PlayStation it might be like, I don't know, like longevity achievement or something. Something
well, a lot of them will have
up.
things like you have to play the game twice to unlock this trophy or achievement, and so that does encourage you to play it again. And there's some that are impossible to get unless you play the game a few times, or at least replay bits a few times. Like I platinumed Fallout 4, so that took me quite a long time because I had to get all the different endings.
As long as nothing is locked behind an achievement, as in a part of the actual game, the fundamental part is locked behind some sort of achievement where it says you can only access this part of the game if you've unlocked it. Because then it'd be like, well, some people might never want to achieve the trophy system or whatever, the achievement, so they might miss out on part of a game.
Nah,
if
they
it's an extra,
they wouldn't do it like that, would they?
No, I don't think so. I think if it was an extra, they could do that. I think that's a cool little extra thing. Like, you know, if you unlock this achievement, you get the 8-bit version of the original release 25 years ago or something like that.
That'd pee me off.
Oh no, because that's the challenge though there. That would appeal to me, right? I already get quite excited about stuff like that because I'm just like,
there was a thing just recently with it was the Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS, and they were talking about the amiibos that are coming with that, the Metroid amiibo and the Samus Aran amiibo. And one of the things that they hadn't made clear, they tried to re-clarify this later, was that if you used the amiibo, you would unlock hard mode in the game. And there was a big massive uproar from Nintendo fans saying, well, why is that locked behind an amiibo? It should be available to anyone.
Thing, yeah.
So the Nintendo, so I've got somebody going past in the bike. There's a little miniature scooter. Anyway, it turned out...
Oh wow, it's quite powerful.
It turned out that the amiibo didn't unlock the hard mode. You could still unlock that regardless, it's just that you may have to do a bit more work. So it was still available. It was that you unlocked the fusion mode earlier, so you could access it right from the start. Otherwise you have to pay.
So I don't enjoy that.
But
either.
it's like that's what I'm worried about. They start, like other companies start going down this route where
it is kind of like microtransactions and stuff there.
I hate
that kind of thing. But there's already achievements definitely for playing long hours, because Viva Pinata definitely rewarded me for playing at least 12 hours consecutively,
100%.
I think, at one point.
Oh my god.
Because I did that, because I got very into that game. So it definitely gave me some achievements for playing for a long time.
I think though the problem at the moment is you get an achievement for playing 50 hours on an online game, for example, but if you play that game every day and that is all you play, soon enough you're into 200 hours, 300 hours, and there's nothing to increase your trophies. Once you've unlocked everything, you've got all your achievements, there's nothing to kind of keep your incentive from that perspective.
I'm a bit like that anyway. Like I platinumed Persona 4 Dancing All Night, one of my favourite rhythm games. I listen to that soundtrack at work most days because it's so good, and it makes me really want to play it. But I also am like, I like the game and stuff, but there's no more trophies for me to get, so I feel like it's a bit pointless. That sounds really, really sad. And
is there a bit of a like again, like what like I sound so negative here with this? Is there a worry then that developers become lazy and make it like, you look at Zelda, Breath of the Wild. People have been playing that for 200 hours and they're still finding things and they're enjoying playing it. And I suppose there's a kind of inbuilt achievement thing with that, you unlock things and everything. But what I'm worried about is some developers become lazy and they put things behind achievements, and they don't have to actually make the fundamental part of the game as good as it needs to be to make it a long-lasting game, to have that longevity. Instead, it's all just achieve something, and that's what they focus on achievements.
Nah, like the good games anyway don't do that. Like it used to be with PlayStation anyway, like with Sony when they first introduced trophies, which was after achievements. It was kind of Sony's answer to achievements because that had done so well in the Xbox. But it used to be that every game had a platinum, no matter how long or how short it was. So people would just get the short games, like the Telltale games and stuff, and just do that purely to get the platinums. But now they've changed it, and like all my walking simulator games that I like don't have any. So a game that lasts 1 or 2 hours isn't going to even have a platinum, which annoys me a little bit, but it's
But does
fair
it
enough.
stop you playing it?
No.
Does it stop you playing
No,
it?
not at all.
I
And
wouldn't
like
say so.
games like Overwatch, I obviously play quite a lot, but I haven't got that many trophies from it because really the trophies there reward you for playing as like all the characters and doing really well online as all the characters, and I don't want to play all the characters. I like my ones that I'm good at, so I'm not getting those trophies because I'm not gonna play as Farah anymore because I don't want to. Like
Similar experience for me with Rocket League, because when it first came out I 100%ed everything and I got the platinum achievement, and I had 100% logged on one day and it said you now have 72% of the trophies in Rocket League. And I was like, come on,
the DLC takes it away from you.
yes.
You'll still have your platinum, but it makes it look like on the percentage when you go and look that you've got actually less than 100%. But I have 100% in Fallout, but all that DLC came out and now I don't.
That's what happened.
There was a forum online where I was reading about the achievement things, and they were going on about how people getting achievements, that if you don't have the achievements or the trophies, the platinum trophies, that some people look down on you as in, you got no platinum trophies, I've got none.
I will confess, whenever I make a new friend on PlayStation,
Do you check their trophies?
I'll check them out to see if I have more, because it just makes me feel better. I'm a total loser for it, but I like collecting them. It makes me feel better. Like my time, like though I'll enjoy a game that I'm playing, it also just makes it seem like that's an extra, like a bonus to it, and it also shows other people that, and maybe it's like, and I don't want to bring like sexism into this, but I constantly feel like I have to prove myself to guys a lot of the time anyway. Like it feels like people want to test me.
So do you search for people that have got like less platinum?
No, it's just like if any friends that add me, I'll have a look and just I feel constantly reassured that I've got more than them, because it makes me feel better as as someone that plays games, so people will know I take it seriously.
I think the worry for me isn't about the games. I don't think there'll ever be a situation where the achievements have a negative effect on the creation of the game. I think the only time it could ever happen, and it has happened, is when the achievements are not thought out properly. So you get some where the achievement's ridiculous, like play 300 hours of this game, when you're never going to do that unless you're mental, because it's it's a game that's like it's just not that kind of game. Or things where the achievements aren't well thought out, they annoy me. Because I quite like achievements, and like Kat, I quite like having those extra things. And if I have a game that I love and there's extra achievements that I haven't done, I will go and do them because it's an extra thing to do in a world that I love.
Hate the game until it makes you not ever want to play it. Like I'm sick of Fallout 4 now. I don't want the DLC. I don't want to play it again because I had to go and kill 5 of it wasn't just behemoths. It included Mirelurk Queens, but.
What if it says
I had to do 5 of them.
What if it says you have to play Fallout 4 in VR when it comes out in VR eventually? Well, you get platinum for that. Will you play it, Kat?
I don't know, because I would be included in Fallout 4 itself. If it was like it would have to be a new game for it to take my platinum away. You know what I mean, though? Like, if Fallout 4 VR came out and had all new trophies, like as if it was a separate thing entirely, I'd probably feel like I needed to do it. And it makes me quite sad to think about that, because I spent far too long getting that platinum.
Anton, are you a fan of trophies and achievements on games?
Yeah, I quite like them, because for me it's like a lot of games that I would be done with. It's just giving me reasons to go back with. Like for Portal, it's like an hour-and-a-half game. Having achievements there, it's like, oh, go and do all this, destroy all the cameras in the game. I'm like, I'm sure going for that.
Like that.
Or in Halo, it's like you have levels that are vehicle based, and I'll be like, yeah, just walk it. I'm like, I'll do that.
Yeah, like, I love those kind. I hate the timed kind. stuff that makes you play the game a bit differently, just so you get the trophy, and then you see things a bit differently. That's hilarious and fun and good and stuff. Like there's one in Bioshock that you should go, and I think I actually unlocked this accidentally. It's called Irony. I got it on the 360 when I first played Bioshock, as when, I don't think this is a spoiler, but Sander Cohen, if you know him, if anyone else is a big fan of Bioshock, you can choose to go and kill him. Like, you don't have to kill him, but if you do, and you take a photo of his body, you get the achievement. Irony, because he's just made you kill a few people for him and take photos of them and then displays the photos. So then when I automatically, when I chose to kill him, I was like, David Bowie, you know, and I did it and got that, and it popped up and I was like, this is so good. So I like stuff like that, but anyone like in Uncharted especially is really bad for this. Complete this ridiculously difficult bit in a temple in 2 minutes and you're like, what?
The worst is when they're like, oh, go collect 50,000 feathers. And it's like you have to raid every single corner of every single level, and it's like no. I give up there. I don't want that platinum. It's not worth it. What's your guys' thoughts on hidden achievements, like the ones that are like just
ones
like
that are not available for
exactly.
you to see? Because I assume therefore they will be containing spoilers. I will not look them up. I will play the whole game first my way, because usually it's stuff where there'll be choices or whatever and they've blocked that out, or it will be like stuff crucial to the plot of the game that they've just blocked out so you don't know what's going to happen. And if I get to the end of the game and I've still got secret ones that are locked, then I'll assume that it's because it's not like in your first playthrough you can just get them, like, you know what I mean, they're not vital to the story, because I've got all the vital things because I've got the story done. So then I, being quite a sad person, will go on the PlayStation trophies forum thing and look up kind of to get an idea of what they are so I can try and get those.
I quite like the hidden ones, but I think for me the hidden ones should always be ones that are pivotal to the game that you might happen to unlock while you're playing it. I think if they're hidden and it's something like, you know, go and collect all these coins or whatever, to me I'm like, well, that's pointless. We don't really need that to be hidden. But I think it should always be something that is either, as you said, it's a spoiler, or it's something that is going to be in the gameplay that you might unlock by mistake. They're the best. Yeah. They're the best achievements.
I also feel just like all the ones for stories, like the whole story, as you go through it, something tragic happens or whatever, you're like, whoa, then you get that one, which was a secret achievement, because you're like, I'm glad that didn't spoil it for me. But I want all those to just unlock themselves as I do them in the game. Yes. I don't, if there's any secret ones left over, then I'm like, no, I need to know what I missed.
I love it if they put like a hidden achievement in something that when you play the game, if you've done nothing to get the achievements, it gave you an achievement for getting none of the achievements.
You done!
But
like, you get them accidentally sometimes, you just don't even mean it. A lot of the time, so yeah. But like Steam achievements, I'm just gonna say they mean none to me.
Oh, Steam ones, they mean nobody cares about them.
To me, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I do miss them on the Switch. I've been playing a lot of Switch, as you know, and I do miss having an achievement system, so I'm definitely behind Nintendo getting in on the action and having some sort of achievement system. But they have to backdate it, though, for the games we've already played, so we'll see. We'll see. We talked about that previously. They probably won't for a while. Zelda's great for that, though, because it has its own in-game thing, but it would be great if they did that. Alright, then moving on, because we are fast running out of time, just a quick one then on this new documentary, or CoDumentary as it's being called. God. This is the fall and rise of Call of Duty. What do you guys think of this?
Don't know, if it's like, if it's done well enough, then I don't see any issues with it. Might be quite interesting to watch. If it's a documentary, they're doing it like as a proper documentary, or they're doing it as in, because from the sounds of it, it sounds like an action-packed film, 93 minutes long. Are they going to show like an actual film and make it like Bandy Brothers or Saving Private Ryan or something?
Oh my god, can we not put those all in the same sentence together? That makes me feel really sad.
Maybe it's like Dunkirk.
I've not seen that yet. I want to see it.
It's good. But yeah, I mean, like, just depends on like the quality and stuff like that. If it turns out just to be some cashing, like as in they're just making it just to promote the game or something, it'll be pretty obvious, and I think I'll be quite turned off by it instantly. So there'll be like 1 minute watched and 92 not.
Yeah, my fear.
Anton?
My kind of fear with a lot of kind of documentaries is just
CoDumentary,
documentaries. It's I feel like so many of them do drag it out, and I have a fear here that they're going to go into details and cover every single release, and they're like, oh, but then we got to Advanced Warfare and they made it so you can jump off walls, but then in the next one they removed that, and then the one after that re-added it because we felt like
93 minutes is a lot of time.
Yeah.
Where is this CoDumentary going to be on? Where is this coming to? Is this going to like cinemas, or is this going to like
I don't know.
YouTube
it's getting made in the UK by some.
So would I have to pay to go and see it? Is the question. I think this is what everyone wants to know.
Yeah, interesting.
Really.
Yeah.
Will we have to pay to see it? Because if so, never in a million years will I pay to watch a Call of Duty documentary.
Maybe it's a freebie with the next game.
Again, then never will I see it. It will not. It's not going to happen. So I've got absolutely no interest, because if it's a documentary about the journey of, as in how the games were made, I'm pretty sure I could Google that and find out. And if it's meant to be some kind of mashup of all of them in a dramatic way, I don't know, how would that work?
I'd love it to be a story about the struggle to get it made before it was made. Like, I'd love it to be more like the real life struggles of two people who had a dream and an idea and all the rest of it. The problem I've got with that is it's Call of Duty, so I'm not really sure that...
Like, if they did it kind of like a spoof documentary, if you know what I mean, where they made fun of it, work. I would probably go and see that, because I think that if they're just like taking the peep out of themselves for trying to make a new one every year, and that their fan base is mainly children, then I'd find that quite funny, and I'd be part of that.
Oh yes.
So is this like first party made by Activision or endorsed by Activision, or is this like third party just created by?
I don't know actually. What's the director? I can't remember what his name is, but I don't know if it's like an actual media studio is doing it, like a company. Let me just see if I can get some details in it. One thing I was going to say is, it might turn out to be one of these ones where, I went to Atlanta, right, last year, and I went to the Coca-Cola place, and it's like the big museum for Coca-Cola, and you think, it'd be really, really cool.
That made me so thirsty.
Well, you walk in, you get a bottle of Coca-Cola straight away.
Nice.
And there's different ones in there, but anyway, you walked in, and there was a bit where, like, as soon as you walked in, they told you some stuff about the company, and you're like, this is alright, and stuff like that. Then they took you into a theatre, and for about 5 or 6 minutes they played this big dramatic video, and it was all about how Coca-Cola changed people's lives. But it was stuff like where it was like some granny it was her 80th birthday, and her family was visiting her, and it's like there was a can of Coke on a table, and it was like Coca-Cola bringing people together. Coca-Cola, they're none! There's like nothing to do with it. It's like people got together, and that was it.
Where was this museum?
It was in Atlanta. It's like the big factory thing or whatever.
Then
so it was like, I just felt like it was like a 5-minute advert for Coke, trying to steal people's memories and like the emotional like parts of their lives.
That is it, down to a T. That is what Coca-Cola
sounds.
Coca-Cola steals your memories.
I kind of worry that this is what this documentary might be about. It may be like one of these things you watch for like 93 minutes and you come out just feeling like I've been abused and forced upon an advert or something.
I feel like you're gonna definitely feel like that. Like, think about it. This is Call of Duty, the game that hell or high water will come out every single year, even though the reviews can be rubbish and no one likes it except for little boys and possibly girls, I don't know, children anyway. Sorry Anton if you like Call of Duty. I thought you might be looking at me like, how dare you. But I think they're just in it for the money. Why would you make a game every single year without fail if you weren't in it for the money?
To think on a positive note about this film, if it's not made by Activision and the people who make it take like a kind of more cynical approach of it, I feel like it could be interesting because the developer behind it, the main creatives behind it, they originally started off as people who made Medal of Honor, then EA forced them to make games every single year. They fell out with EA, they went to Call of Duty, the first couple games struggled, then they hit it on the head with 4, then they got forced to make games every year, and then they quit Activision again, and now they work for EA again. But anyway, I feel like it might be interesting if they can talk about that internal drama.
And we're just like, do you know what? all you publishers are the worst. Stop making us make games every year, and now we've been forced to make this stupid film again, like another thing we didn't really want to have to spend our time doing, but here we are.
So I'm checking some stuff here. It's done by Devolver Digital Films. It's going to be feature length, 93 minutes, and it's about the Call of Duty phenomenon, and it's going to be released on Amazon and iTunes and platforms like Steam and stuff on September the 19th.
And will it cost money?
Well, I presume so. If it's on the, well, it doesn't actually say actually. Apparently,
not if it's on Amazon, probably not. Probably an exclusive type thing on their streaming service. It'll be free, I would think.
Apparently, it took 5 years to make, and it's saying that it's talking about the competition that they face from other World War II shooters. You know, think about it, like there's a thing, again, I'll go back to some things that have been happening recently. You know, there's a lot of esports stuff now I'm watching TV or online, and guys are playing a game where they may be playing Call of Duty or something like this, since we're talking about that, and it's like, you're playing a video game. Let's be serious here. You're playing a video game. As much as I love games, you're playing a video game, but it's like, they're now dramatising it so much now with their like market materials that it's like lithe and threatening. It's like, you're playing a game, get a grip of yourself. It's just a game, enjoy it.
I got a slightly different view on esports. I think esports, I quite like esports. It goes back to the days of watching Games Master, when you used to have the competition at the end of Games Master where two people would play a game of something like Sensible Soccer or whatever against each other. And I quite like esports. I quite like watching it. I think it's fun. I think the dramatization, it's like wrestling. Do you know what I mean? You can kind of go completely over the top and nobody takes it too seriously. So I'm kind of not with you on that. But as for the movie, let's just hope that, unlike Sean at the Coca-Cola factory, we're not fizzing when we see it, because it's
very good.
spent 10 minutes.
I actually like esports. I just mean in the sense that like, maybe it's different. I don't know. Maybe like wrestling's a bit different because you know that it's fake growing up. You always know it's fake. But I think it's more the side of where the guys are talking like they've just like they're about life and death scenario.
Are we talking like about competitive gaming, basically? Like, you know, where you're sponsored by a team, like by somebody.
Quite intense. Some people like live in houses and they're training.
Yeah, because I quite like that's getting more popular purely because it validates the games are serious. Like, you know, when people who don't like games, you're like, well, the team that play like this game actually just won a tournament and they made millions of pounds each. So
yeah, I kind of think that's a good thing, and I also think that, you know, we are kind of running out of time. We'll probably talk about this in depth another time, and it sounds like your seagull wants to have his say as well. But to me, he's getting very angry with the sounds of it. He's shut up now. He
loves Call of Duty, that's what it is.
He loves it, yeah. He's like, stop dissing Call of Duty. No, I think that what's good about esports and bringing it to more people and more people seeing it because they accidentally stumble across it or whatever, is that, you know, we have this argument all the time where people think that video games are this evil medium that is not doing any good. It's causing harm. All the rest of it.
It's making people be violent and lazy, and nobody goes outside anymore.
Yeah. Which in reality, it's an incredible form of art. I mean, some of the games are absolutely incredible. What you can achieve now, and also, I'm not.
As a side note, sorry to interrupt, I did see an article recently online about how games, like some games, are going to be used potentially in the future to help people with cognitive disorders. So
yes,
there you go, everyone. Yeah. They're good for your brain too. So
essentially,
games. Sassy clicks there.
I mean, it's more simulators, but essentially, games teach people how to fly planes and how to drive trucks for hours on end, Anton. And there's lots of different ways that games can be used. I mean, years ago, it used to be when the old computers, you can't call them consoles, but things like Spectrums and Amstrads and all the rest of it, you used to get several educational games, and they were in schools. We used to have things like the BBC Micro, or we have a Spectrum or whatever, and that went on to like Apple computers and things, and we used to have them in classrooms, and I think there'll be like a modern equivalent for sure, but they were used as educational tools, and a lot of time it was games. So it's I think there's there's a big discussion to be had, and it's a whole episode in itself, is basically what I'm saying. But one last bit of news, guys, because we are running out of time. You can tell us a bit about this, Sean, but this is the Pokemon accessory that you can buy if you've got a spare $275. I actually like the look of this. It looks really cool. What is it, Sean?
I have to remember the name of it now. It's the Alolan Egg, was it?
Alolan Executor. So, like, it's got an egg, like, funny thing in the title, and he's a character in Pokemon, right?
Yeah, like, I think he was introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon, it said. And they're releasing the statue is 1.09 meters tall, and there's pictures of it online. You can see people sitting with it. It looks like kind of the tree I've got here in the studio. It's like a little palm tree with the little faces on it, and it looks so cool. It's like, it looks like something you can actually put in your house or something.
But at $275, are we putting it in our houses?
No.
Yes, let's get one! Yay!
Get 12. One for every corner.
You get one, and then someone comes in with a Pokeball and steals it.
Yeah, that could happen, I guess. Maybe in an alternate reality or somewhere. Anyway, that's about it for this week. And we don't have an Alolan Executor to give away because they're a ridiculous amount of money, and we're not that generous at Gamify 24/7. However, you can subscribe and download for free. We've got YouTube. We've got iTunes. What else have we got, Sean? What am I missing?
The YouTube, the iTunes, the SoundCloud.
Yes,
you
the
can
YouTube,
do the
SoundCloud.
tweets to us.
Yeah, the tweets to us, yeah.
We've still not had any other dogs, and I have no cats, I believe, so far.
Send your best cat or
Hashtag
dog picture. You've seen Kat's pictures on Instagram. You can check out Kat's profile. It's Wasps and Cakes, isn't it?
I'm Wasps and Cakes
You've got
everywhere.
your cat there. I saw that one.
Yeah, my
cool.
flatmate's cat. She's
Cat's winning the
very
internet,
cute.
so we'll have to get a cat in the studio somehow. We can add it in next to the four of us. We can put a cat there.
Yep. I'll get
Two
to work on the new
cats.
designs.
Well, my cat
Yeah.
is in the picture of me for this. My cat Poppy.
Oh,
So
lovely.
it is, yeah.
You are,
She's-
yeah, that's right.
she's-
We'll have to
there.
highlight the cat more though. We'll have to put
She's
the cat
in Port
separately.
William though, so I live with a different cat when I'm here.
Was it doing the best Highland rate as well?
Yes, she loves
Cool.
that. She's 15 years old, still going strong.
Well, I think that's the perfect ending to today's podcast, and we'll be back next week for episode 28. That's been episode 27 of Gamify 24/7, and have a lovely week gaming, whatever you're up to, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye bye.